Yes lads, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today I'm going to bring you guys the Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester match preview. So the boys and girls, after a very poor result last time out in Premier League action as the Foxes lost 2-0 at home against Everton at the King Power Stadium, Premier League action continues tomorrow as we will travel to North London to take on Tottenham away from home in the Premier League. So with that being said, in today's video I'm going to bring you guys the Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester match preview. I'll run through the Tottenham side of things, my thoughts on the game, my predicted lineup, and also my score prediction for tomorrow's huge game between Tottenham and Leicester in the battle for the top four. But just before we get into it, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video if you guys going to enjoy today's video as I bring you guys the Tottenham versus Leicester match preview. It's another huge game tomorrow in the Premier League. So if you guys do enjoy today's match preview, let me know by dropping a like. Also subscribe if you haven't seen my face on your screen before. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you have not already subscribed to the channel, first of all, what are you doing? Go down below, turn that subscribe button grey because we do not want to see any red on here. And if it's Spurs fans watching as well, surely you don't like the colour red either. So yeah, go and subscribe to the channel, would be massively appreciated. Also turn on my channel post notifications so you guys never miss any future videos on the channel just like this one. Follow me on my social medias, they'll be down there. Links to them will be in the description down below. And last but not least, let me know your thoughts on tomorrow's game, your score predictions in the comment section down below. But without further ado, let's get into the Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester match preview. So then, getting straight into today's match preview, as always, we're going to start off by talking a bit about the opposition side of things. Of course, take on Spurs tomorrow in a big game. It's going to be a tough one, but yeah, of course, take on Spurs tomorrow away from home at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And this week on the channel, I've got Max on the channel, xDuoMax, to bring you guys the Tottenham side of things. A big thanks to Max for coming on the channel today. Go and subscribe to his channel. The links to his channel will be in the description down below. But he's going to come on the channel today, bring you guys the Spurs side of things. He's going to give you a bit of insight to how Spurs will start the season, his thoughts on the game, his predicted live, and also his score prediction for tomorrow's game. So yeah, big thanks to Max for coming on the channel. Like I said, subscribe to his channel. But yeah, I'm going to hand over to him and he's going to bring me and you the Spurs side of things heading into tomorrow's game.
How's it going, Sportsa? Max here, and obviously massive Spurs fan. Tottenham Leicester at the weekend. Tottenham going to be looking back to get back to winning ways after the unfortunate 2-1 loss. Firmino header, gutting. Unfortunately, Spurs ended up losing after going, I believe it was 11 games unbeaten, but Liverpool being Liverpool, what can you do? They're a great side, but Leicester on the other hand, great side as well. We cannot be underestimating them. We're going to have to be going into that game, not sitting back, not parking the bus. I mean, Mourinho loves to do that. He loves being that guy. He loves winding teams up. And you know what? I'm actually all for it. We've been getting results recently. So moving on to the Leicester game, you guys have been going in strong recently. Obviously, Jamie Vardy's been breaking corner flags and all that good stuff. But we've got Heung-min Son, the Puskas award-winning goal machine. He's coming out of nowhere this season. He's banging goals left, right and centre. And Harry Kane and Son are going to be playing in that game. And it's going to be a tough one for you guys. I'm going to go for a quick score prediction. I'm going to go for a 3-1 to the Tottenham boys. We're going to go with Aurier at the back, Alderweireld, Dyer, Reggie. Good old Regulion. I think he's absolutely mustard. Lloris in goal. Højbjerg has been unbelievable. He's been unplayable, and he's been the reason that we're actually up there. He reminds me of your season with Kante, and that's the reason that you won the league, because he was unbelievable that season. So I'm going with Højbjerg, end on Bad Boy, end on Bele, and then I'd like to see Giovanni Lo Celso, but he probably won't roll with that. He'll probably go with, probably Højbjerg, end on Bele, and Moussa Sissoko. That's his favoured midfield three anyway at the moment, with obviously Son, Kane and Bergwijn up top. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it, and obviously thank you for having me on the channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm sure my links are in the description, but big up Sportsa. I would say big up Leicester, but I obviously want Spurs to win. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I need to cover. Right now, I've got score prediction, I've got lineups, I've got confidence going into this one. I mean, it's annoying there's obviously no fans back, but what can you do? So Tottenham Leicester at the weekend. That's my thoughts on the game. Let's go.
So that is it for the Spurs side of things heading into tomorrow's game. A big thanks to Max for coming on the channel today. Like I said, everyone, go subscribe to the channel. Links to the channel will be in the description down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Leicester side of things and heading into tomorrow's big game. Right then, Spurs away tomorrow. Another game in the Premier League, and yeah, it's a big game tomorrow for the Foxes. Of course, last time out, very poor performance against Everton and a very poor result against the Toffees as we lost 2-0 at home. Once again, another home defeat, and hopefully we can bounce back at quarter to take on a very informed Tottenham side who have made a great start to the season. Just like Max has said, they've got a load of big results this season. So yeah, it's going to be a very tough game for Leicester tomorrow on Sunday, and especially away from home. It's going to be tough. Although Leicester do play quite well away from home, Tottenham have a good home record as well this season. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game for Leicester, I can imagine. But you never know for Leicester. Of course, they've got some big results this season away from home, beating Arsenal, which to be honest is quite easy at the moment. Of course, beating Man City 5-2 as well. So yeah, Leicester are definitely capable of getting their win. But at the moment, form is very inconsistent, so we could potentially get something, but it really could be a tough one. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's hopefully if we can get some kind of result there, that would be the perfect way to bounce back. But is it going to happen? Probably not. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, it's going to be a big challenge for Leicester tomorrow. But overall, inconsistent form. We could potentially get something, but yeah, it's just whether it depends which Leicester do turn up tomorrow at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Let's speak about the game then in a bit more detail. So yeah, tactically, it's gonna be an interesting one. Obviously, two very good managers in Brendan Rodgers and Jose Mourinho. However, both managers like to play a similar style of football. Of course, Jose Mourinho has been sitting back with Tottenham looking to counter attack, which has definitely worked this season. And for Leicester, the game wasn't when we do counter attack, which is usually away from home, it works. And when we have more possession, it doesn't really work. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the game really flows. It's going to be interesting to see if Leicester have more of the ball, which happened last season, and we lost that one as well. Or is it going to be quite even, 50-50, which could potentially work in Leicester's favour, because Tottenham aren't the best of teams trying to break their team down, and neither are Leicester. So yeah, it could be a bit of a stalemate, to be honest, if one team goes for it. If Leicester have more of the ball, I can imagine Tottenham pretty easy just getting the win. But if it's pretty even, it could be a very low scoring one as well. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Brendan Rodgers sets up, how Jose Mourinho sets up, and how the game flows. Overall, I can imagine it being 50-50 kind of. Sometimes Leicester will sit back, sometimes Spurs will, and it kind of balance out in there. And hopefully by that we could get a pretty decent game. But yeah, if it's Leicester who have more of the ball, I can imagine Spurs winning. But if Spurs have more of the ball, it could work into the hands of Leicester. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But overall, I can see it being pretty much 50-50, and I can see it being a very tight and heavily contested game. I think the first goal in this game will be very vital, and whoever gets it, I think, will go on to win the game. So yeah, the first 20 minutes or so will probably decide this game, and in particular, the midfield battle will be key in this game as well, especially if it's more 50-50. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to watch. But yeah, it might not be the best of entertaining games if you want that as a neutral. But overall, I think it will be a pretty close, highly contested game, which you can definitely expect in a top 4 battle. Of course, it's very close. A win for Leicester would take us above Tottenham, a win for Tottenham will give them a 4-point advantage. So yeah, it's an important game, and it's going to be a very cagey start to the game as well, but it could definitely open up towards the end. Obviously, at the moment with Leicester, it's very difficult to kind of predict what's going to happen. Overall, I wouldn't really say I'm too confident just going into the game, because our form recently has not been the greatest, but I have a slight little hope in my head that we could potentially nick something. But overall, I'm not too confident going into the game, and I think Spurs will actually Kane and Son up front are going to cause us some problems. Of course, Leicester still have a lot of injuries. We'll move on to that side of things in a few minutes time. But yeah, overall, I'm not too confident going into the game, which could probably work, to be honest. I was confident for the Everton game, and we all know what happened there. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, but overall, I'm not that confident going into the game, and especially away at Tottenham, at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Leicester don't have a good record at all. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. So, boys and girls, that is it for the Tottenham side of things and my thoughts on tomorrow's game. So yeah, let's get straight into my predicted lineup. So, starting off with the formation then. This is the side I think Brendan Rodgers will go over tomorrow, of course. But yeah, the formation which I'll be going for is gonna be, I'm gonna go back to the 3 at the back, but it could be a 5 at the back as well. So I'm gonna go with 5 at the back, I'm gonna go with 2 midfielders and 3 up front. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 5-2-3 formation for Leicester, which could be the 3-4-3 formation if you go with the 3 at the back. But yeah, starting off in goal, of course the easiest position to predict, of course, is gonna be Kasper Schmeichel. Not the best of games against Everton, of course. He made that mistakes for that Richarlison goal, but overall he made a couple of good saves, and it wasn't too bad. But overall, Schmeichel's been good this season. But it's going to be a poor suit when the likes of Kane's side. He's going to have a good game, make some big saves as well. So yeah, but of course, easiest position, the captain Schmeichel to start in goal tomorrow. Right then, moving into the back 3 and the 3 central defenders then. So yeah, starting off with the right one, I'm going to be going with Wesley Fofana. Pretty easy position to beat. Obviously, Fofana has played well since he's arrived at Leicester this season. It's going to be a big test for him, coming up against probably the best striker in the league at the moment in Harry Kane, and coming up against players like Son, Gareth Bale, Steven Bertrand as well. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Wesley Fofana. But yeah, my first centre back is going to be Wesley Fofana. Alongside him, I'll be going with Johnny Evans. Of course, missed that game against Everton, and we really did miss him. We missed that experience heading there. So yeah, hopefully he can come back after his 1-match suspension and he can come straight in there. I imagine he will, and hopefully he can just short that defence, because against Everton we did really miss him. So yeah, Evans, Fofana are the first centre backs, and then the final centre back within that back 3, I'm going to be going with James Justin. Of course, he's been playing right back, left back, but he can also do a job at centre back, and I think James Justin will come into that centre-back role, because I don't really want Christian Fuchs to start, because, yeah, let's not really talk about his performance against Everton. So, yeah, my back three will be Fofana, Evans, and James Justin. Overall, pretty solid. Obviously, James Justin and Fofana both young, but a lot of them are getting good experience. And obviously, got Johnny Evans in there, very experienced head. So then, moving into the midfield four then. So, yeah, starting off with a right wing back, I'm going to be going with Timothy Castagna. It's a 50-50 one. It's been confirmed that he will be in the lineup for tomorrow, but that could be the starting lineup or even the bench. But for me, I'm going to go and put him into the starting lineup. Yes, it's a risk. He could get injured again, but overall, we've really been missing Timothy Castagna. And realistically, I don't want Christian Fuchs to play. So yeah, if Castagna starts, I don't think Fuchs will. But if Castagna doesn't start, I can see Christian Fuchs could start, which I don't really want to happen. But yeah, Castagna for me is going to start tomorrow. We'll see. We missed him. He came in at the start of the season, was absolutely fantastic, and he's probably one of the best right backs in the league in my opinion. And I think he can make a real impact against Spurs, especially going forward. So yeah, right wing back is going to be Timothy Castagna. Two centre mids, starting off with a more defensive one. I'm going to be going with Wilfred Ndidi. Of course, dropped in at centre right against Everton. Didn't really do a bad job, but obviously it's not his natural position. We did miss him in that more CDM role just in front of the defence. Yeah, I think Wolf will drop back in then, especially if Spurs are going to counter-attack. He is going to be a key man in trying to stop those counter-attacks and trying to stop the likes of Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, the Celso from midfield all coming forward as well. So yeah, Ndidi is going to be the CDM. Alongside him in that more box-to-box role, I'm going to be going with Youri Tielemans. Not the best of performances against Everton, but overall he does a good job in there, and he can definitely do good in it. If he can link up the likes of Castagna as well as Belgium teammate, I think he'll do good. So yeah, Tielemans and Ndidi, two centre mids. Left wing back, I'm going to be going with Luke Thomas to come back into the lineup. I think he's done good so far this season, and I think Luke Thomas deserves a chance to start against Tottenham. He's good going forward. Scored against Braga in the Europa League this season as well, and he's pretty solid defensively as well. It's another youngster, but he does a good job. So yeah, my midfield four is going to be Castagna as the right wing back. The two centre mids will be Ndidi and Tielemans, and then the left wing back will be the youngster Luke Thomas. Right then, finally moving into the front three then for tomorrow's game. First of all, easy position. Vardy, of course, is going to be starting up front. So yeah, the striker, obviously, is going to be Vardy. Loves the goal against Tottenham, does Vardy. So yeah, hopefully Vardy can provide that. It's going to be important on the counter-attack. But yeah, moving into the two wingers. I'm going wingers this game, not cams. I'm going to be going with Maddison to start on the right. Yes, he's not a winger, but he's going to come inside, and I can imagine him doing that. But I think the most important thing is with James Maddison, he needs to stay forward. We can't have him dropping deep, because he is simply not effective there. I said it in the live watch along against Everton. He's not effective there. He needs to be right behind Vardy, up towards the top where he's most effective. And if Maddison is there, he can play well. He really causes problems. We saw that against Brighton, where it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, James Maddison is going to be on that right wing / right cam type position. The left one is going to be Barnes. Of course, Barnes is more of a winger. He can also come in and out. Didn't do too well against Everton, but he was good taking players on, but he really did lack that final product. It will be Barnes or under, in my opinion, for me. But yeah, I'm going to go with Barnes to start. Very young English. He's got pace, and that's what we can need in that top lane. And then, of course, the front, like I said, we'll go with Vardy. So yeah, the front three will be Barnes, Maddison, and Vardy. It could easily be the likes of Perez under can come into that as well. But yeah, that is the front three which I'll be going for tomorrow's game. Make sure you let me know your predicted lineups in the comment section down below. Do you agree with my decisions? Do you not? Let me know down below. So boys and girls, that is it for the Tottenham side of things. My thoughts on the game and just sent my predicted lineups. Yeah, it's time for my score prediction. Let me know your score predictions for tomorrow's game in the comment section down below. But yeah, it's going to be the first time I'm going to predict a Leicester loss, which I don't really do. I try to be as positive as possible, but realistically, I can't see us just getting the win tomorrow. But, you know, reverse psychology, we could win it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Tottenham tomorrow. I'm not that confident going into the game at all. I just don't have a good feeling at all. But, like I said, you never know. Leicester could produce something good, and we could get a shock win, which I'll definitely take, obviously. But, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 tomorrow for Spurs. I'm going to go with Kane to get one, Son to get the other, and for Leicester, I'll go with Vardy to score. Pretty obvious goal scorers there, but yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 tomorrow to Tottenham. I can imagine it being a tough game, and I really can't see Leicester getting much from the game. I'll definitely take a point from the game. 3 points would be incredible, but yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs tomorrow, unfortunately, but you never know. Leicester could potentially do something. It could definitely be a draw tomorrow. Even Leicester have a good chance of winning as well. It's very hard to predict, but yeah, overall, I'm going to go with my head and not my heart. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs, but yeah, just let us know your score predictions in the comment section down below. So boys and girls, that is it for today's video. In today's video, I bring you guys the Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester match preview. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, let me know by dropping a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. Let me know your thoughts, your predicted lineups, your score predictions. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll see you all for the live watch along as well tomorrow, starting at 2 PM. But yeah, that's it for today's video. That is it for the Tottenham versus Leicester preview. I've been Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.